Do you need a quick to create Christmas card design? Today we will make a slimline card using 6x6 paper and leaving no scraps. I'm Jess from jesscrafts.com and I'm going to help you make the most of your crafty time and supplies. So let's get into it. Today I am making a card with lawn fawn papers. So I am starting with a piece of blue plaid paper that was cut down from a 12x12, so it is a 6x6 sheet of paper. I'll be using my One Sheet Wonder Slimline template number 7, which is a downloadable PDF on my blog. You will know exactly how to cut the paper and then how to assemble it to make 2 cards with 1 sheet of paper. I'm going to start with a 3x4 focal image element, and there's going to be some strips around it. This is for a slimline card, which I'm measuring at 8.5 by 3.5, and I'm going to use 1/4 inch mats around everything. So the 3x4 inch panel would get a 3 1/4 by 4 1/4 inch mat. Again, all of that information is downloadable in the PDF, and I'm also going to be using a stamp from Lawn Fawn today. So today's video is part of a collaboration with Crafted by Nicole LeBlanc, and I reached out to Nicole, asked her if she wanted to do a collaboration because I had a lot of fun with my last collaboration, and I think it would be great for you to find some new crafty YouTubers and to follow. So we decided together that we would do a Christmas card with the Lawn Fawn Winter Unicorn and the combination of teal and red. So you can go over to her channel, the link will be in the video description, and you can see another take on the same colors, the same theme, the same stamp set, and have 2 ideas from the videos. I am going to color the unicorn with my Copic markers. I was really excited when Nicole agreed to the red and teal combo. I had suggested 2 color combos. I said pink or green, or red or teal, because I thought they were like just a little bit of a surprise color combination for Christmas cards, a little bit less expected. And when she said red and teal, I was super excited because teal is my favorite color, and so that was kind of the one I was secretly rooting for. But let me know, would you guys have picked red and teal, or is pink and green more your jam? I'm going to use C3, C1, C0 to make the unicorn have a sort of silvery white color to it. You could use less of the darkest color or not go all the way to the C3, just do the C1 and the C0 if you wanted to look a little bit lighter, a little bit more white. And then for my teals, when I originally picked the pattern paper, I thought it was a little bit more teal than it was. It's a little too blue to really qualify, so it was like I definitely need to incorporate some teal here into the unicorn, and I went with the BG787572 combination. I like the BG131518. That's like probably my favorite teal color combination, but it was a little bit brighter, and I thought this kind of bridged the gap between the blue paper and the teal color that I wanted to go for in the end. I'm adding flicks to make it look a little bit more like hair, but they're not super detailed flicks. I've certainly added more detail, and I would, if you like a more realistic hair look, what you're going to want to do is really focus on getting those thin flicks and not so much using the side of your marker and using that wider stroke. You really want to keep it at the tip of your marker and keep it nice and light. That's the best way that I have found to get those, like that hair look. And Kitten Clouder is a great place to learn how to color hair. She does some amazing tutorials about that. So if you're somebody who would love to know more about coloring, hair with Copics or colored pencil, because she does both, and alcohol markers in general is pretty similar, I think she's a great resource. I've taken several of her classes. I'm going to incorporate the red, R393735. I thought that this Copic color combination, if you go a little bit lower in the numbers, they get kind of more of an orangey red, and so I see that the R3s are where we start getting into the more Christmas red. I'm going to be using a Joy Sentiment from Paper Rose. This is one that I picked up recently, and I thought it was like a great general sentiment for Christmas because you could use it for non-Christmas cards as well. I want to incorporate more of the teal, so I'm taking that leftover scrap of Neener Solar White, which is the paper that I use for my Copic coloring, and I'm adding the ombre effect of the teal, going from the darkest to the lightest color, and then I'm going over it again because I just felt like it sort of became a little too one note. I wanted it to really fade from one color to the next. And then I'm going to die cut the joy word out of that. One of the reasons I was really attracted to these paper rose dies is because they do have this shadow background, and I find that it makes the sentiment more prominent on a card. And I picked up 2 of them, but I could see myself definitely getting more now that I am seeing how much I like them. I am going to add it to the same red paper that I used for all of the mats to keep everything really consistent. And I think that you can see that it helps that to really pop off and makes the ombre stand out more. If I were to try to glue that joy word right onto that blue paper, you would not see it. So I do want a little bit more of a sentiment just because this panel, this 3x4 panel, is quite big with the unicorn there. And so I'm going to add a sending message. I went into the Paper Rose sentiment sheets and I found the word sending within the Crisp Christmas collection, and I will trim that up on the sides and add it. I use my paper trimmer for most of it to get really straight cuts, but then to finish it off, I did go in with my scissors. I find I am not a straight cutter, so I get a little bit scared to ever bring scissors to something that I can't go back on, because if I mess up that sending sentiment, I can't just stamp another one. That is the disadvantage of getting those printed sentiments, but the advantage is that it is super quick. And I think that the sending joy sentiment really grounds the unicorn. I don't always go for everything smack dab in the center, but I think this was an instance where it worked. I'm going to pop up my unicorn. Instead of using foam tape, I'm just going to use a bit of thick cardboard packaging that I saved to help me to pop things up. It's a little bit more eco-friendly and cheaper, so I also will glue scraps of cardstock together and layer that up and use that as foam tape. And I'll use my Bearly Art Glue because I find that it applies nice and thin, never curls the paper. Always been happy with it. And you can get refills, which make it way cheaper than a lot of other glues out there. On the inside of the card, I want to add a sentiment, so I picked a sentiment from the Sunny Studios Holiday Inside Greetings stamp set. This really helps you to finish off Christmas cards quickly, and it has both holiday and Christmas sayings, and they have a specific Christmas set if that's more your jam. And I'm also going to reincorporate the teal and red by stamping the sentiment in teal and then the unicorn again in red. Now remember, this is a collaboration with Nicole LeBlanc, so be sure to check the video description to find the link to her channel and get another take on this same color card. I found this video inspiring. Here's a link to a playlist where you can find more ideas for getting the most out of your supplies. Let me know you like this video with a thumbs up or share to your crafty friends. Subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss the next template tutorial, and check the video description for product links. See you in the next video.